Hey everybody, I'm Michael DiTullo. Welcome to my studio, and today we're going to be talking about sketching on a toned background. So this kind of toned background style is something you see a lot on Instagram. I actually don't use it a lot for projects. I find it a little bit fancy, a little bit fussy when I'm just kind of ideating and trying to get concepts out. But it's a really fun, engaging style. It looks great on social media. And so I thought I'd do a quick little demo on it today. One thing I want to talk about before we get into the demo is where this style came from. So this style actually goes way back before digital sketching, probably really to the 1930s, 40s, the very beginning of industrial design. It was very common for industrial designers to draw on what was called canson paper or toned paper, which was kind of a toothy paper that came in all different colors. And they did this because a lot of original industrial designers actually started out as illustrators, frequently employed that kind of toned paper style, usually with pastel and pencil. When I was in design school in the 90s, it was kind of considered a cool throwback to pick up some of those old techniques. We had some professors that would teach us those styles, and so it was kind of a fun little throwback to do a canson paper sketch. Fast forwarding into the 2020s now, these kind of toned background sketches do have a really nice benefit of kind of separating your work out. So you could imagine a hiring manager going through a lot of portfolios. So anything that's going to make your work stand out is kind of a positive. So let's break down how I approach doing these. Really, they're not that different than any other sketch. I mean, with the exception of the first thing I do is select a background color. So here I'm just going to pick a medium to slightly dark gray as my background color. And then over top, I'm going to pop a layer and do some really rough line work. This is just some abstract line work, trying to get an idea out on the page. I don't want to get too fussy while I'm exploring. I'm just kind of get this gesture for this high top casual sneaker. Once I have the gesture pretty much figured out, now I'm going to lay in some really nice line work over top. Now that I'm doing this line work layer, I'm taking time to be careful and get some really nice poppy lines. And then I'm going to bring in some shading. So one of the fun things about doing this toned background sketches, we're shading in both light and dark, right? So making sure to spend as much time with the light tones as the dark tones so that the sketch can really separate up off that background. And then lastly, I'm going to drop in a lower layer to do the color blocking. So I don't want to go too heavy with the color blocking because I want that toned paper kind of look to come through a little bit. All right, now that you saw how I set up all my layers, let's do a quick time lapse to see how that all plays out. All right, everyone, thanks for joining. Thank you to all of you who subscribe and like these videos. It gives me the motivation to keep going. If you got some suggestions, let me know down there in the comments. I love to get suggestions, feedback, any other questions. It helps me to come up with topics for new videos. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit like and subscribe down there if you want to see these videos pop up in your feed. Thanks for watching. Till next time, keep sketching.